Hello, welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video. That is the, PS4 is going to be skipping a little bit, so it's going to be initial thoughts on the Zaku 3 Custom, which, finally, a Zaku 3 with a instant stun rifle, but unfortunately it doesn't have the rest of the kit besides the torso beam launcher on it, and also, as a heads up, I kind of don't demonstrate the suit too well, this first match here I am playing with Taru and Zero, and we ended up finding Sync Wavy, which I guess I'll link to his channel because he's a pretty good GPO YouTuber. You probably know him by one of the clans he's with, or the clan he's in with right now. But yeah, I really just use my heavy attack for this match and the next match, because the next match is going to be me, Nexus, and Taru rocking the Zaku 3 Custom, and poor Zero is on the enemy team, and yeah. Unfortunately, these two matches do not showcase the suit too well, besides that you can heavy attack and you can be scum with it. Except for one part where I'm doing well against No, but yeah. So yeah, the Zaku 3 Custom, it's a pretty nice suit, pretty simple in some ways. But it does get carried pretty hard by some of its skills. But before we get to that, we got to get to the stats of the suit, which you have 21,500 HP, pretty hefty amount, 26 ballistic resistance and beam resistance. You have 30 melee resistance, and then 20 range and 45 melee strength. And the boost speed and the regular speed are mentionable here too, because they're kind of fast. You have the 140 speed, and you actually tie the O as the fastest boosting speed suit with 235, and then you have 80 thrusters, and you got pretty good turn speed, 78 turning speed. And then for slots, you have 22 close, 17 mid, and 9 long range slots. And I gotta say, I believe, yeah, the stats are kind of low for defense, but because of the slots you have, you can tank this thing up a lot. I have a build I think I'm using for this loadout here, where I have like 31 ballistic resistance, over 40 beam, and I think I have exactly 50 melee resistance, and I'm still doing ridiculous damage, which is pretty good, really good actually. Oh man, why did that skip? That was an awful looking skip. I think I did something with that O besides doing that downswing I just did. Well, I guess I tried to counter it. I also had really a lot of fun with the this match. In the next match, I almost wanted to make these AQMs, and if you guys are really interested in that, I guess I can go ahead and release those as individual videos if you guys are interested, because these were you could tell I'm having fun if you listen to it. The suits are very fun, but yeah, you have some lower ballistic resistance, so it's kind of like the O in that regard, where it has low defense stats, but you can tank it up, and you're melee oriented as well, or at least you have a strong melee. There we go. For weapons, you have the Zaku 3 Custom Beam Rifle, which 2,500 damage. You have 6 rounds and 400 range, and I really wish this weapon was usable on the regular Zaku 3, because that would make me enjoy that suit a lot more, to have an instant stun, although that might make that suit a little bit too powerful, but oh well. And then you have 400 range, pretty nice, and 6 rounds EPAC. Yeah, pretty decent rifle. Then you have the Zaku 3 Custom Beam Saber, which is 2,900 damage, and it heavy attacks. And the best part is, unlike the other heavy attack suits, where they'll usually have two melee weapons, and they'll have one that's a regular, like, ready up time, but their heavy attack weapon will have a low ready up time. This suit has normal weapon ready up time for its single weapon that can heavy stagger, and it can make it very easy to spam out your heavy attacks. And besides that, you have what seems to be similar to the O's. You have the O's neutral swing, which has a very far-reaching poke, and then you have a downswing that I think is the which one is it? The Goof VD. If not, there's another suit I'm trying to think of. I can't remember it. I'm going to go ahead and say it's the Goof VD. But yeah, pretty powerful. I've done to a support because I have some builds where I have high melee strength. You can get over 5,000, close to 6,000 damage on one downswing, and since this thing can follow up with two downswings, yeah, that can be close to 12,000 health just by hitting a support twice. Kind of gross damage. For secondary weapons, you have the head-mounted Vulcans Type 2, which is 90 damage, 60 rounds, and 200 range. And before we get into that, here's some mission completed. Yeah, Sync did pretty good, Zero did pretty good, Taro did pretty good, 5,000 individual score, pretty nice, and Zero got elite assist score, but hey, I got 4th place, 6 and 2, pretty high pursuit assist, so I'm fine with that. 2nd place, 4,000 individual score. Next match, regular match. Well, it's a custom with Zero on the enemy team, and we were being dicks. Again, I'll make these two individual AQMs if you guys want, because we had a blast, even though we were being really dickish. You have with the head-mounted Vulcans. They're almost like GPO2s. The GPO2's Vulcans, where they can stun fast. They're not like as fast as the GPO2's Vulcans, but they're still pretty quick. You can definitely throw that in to somebody who has maneuver armor, and their maneuver armor, you can chase them down with your Vulcans to get a stun, or if there's support that doesn't have damage control or a general, yeah, you can just get a quick stun off. You don't have to waste your any of your shot stuns, or if you want to go for a stun lock, there you go, you can do that. Start off with your Vulcans. You have the next weapon is the Torso Beam Launcher ×2, which is 1,800 damage, 95% heat rate, and 300 range. They can do pretty good damage against supports. I've seen at least 3,000, 4,000, depending on the support. Against generals, it can depend, because beam defense is the more common thing. Oh man, that poor support. I feel bad for him. Yeah. They're all right. One of the issues I've had with the Torso Beam Launcher is that it takes too long to ready up. So it's kind of like the Game Hulk, where you want to start out with that if you want to go for, let's say, a range combo. Go for the Torso Beam Launchers, then go for your regular beam rifle. And then you have the Hide Bomb Customs, which has 600 damage, 8 rounds, and 50 range, which, I mean, they obviously go a lot further than that. They're mines that are on your arm, and you can actually boost and use them, and the best part is you can either tap it, or you can, 8,000 damage. You can either tap it, or you can hold it down and send all your missiles out. I've seen a lot of different tactics with these. All of them I've never done in these two matches, because again, these are poor representation of the Zaku 3. All I'm doing is just heavy attacking. Yeah, I've seen people boost into people while having these out, since this suit has maneuver armor, so run into people with your mines out, or whenever they're retreating, they'll send them out behind and have a trail of mines covering them in case anybody tries to follow them. They have to, maneuver around those. They're okay. They're kind of like the Hama's hide bombs, where it's just kind of there. at least with this suit, you have different tactics you can do with it. It's not like the Hama Hama where you have to use it, and they all just shoot out at the same time, or at least 4 at a time, and it doesn't really stop. It doesn't help the Hama Hama out too much. I mean, it helps in very specific situations. I'll say that. And then for skills, you have balancers, you have Ambac level 2, you have maneuver armor level 2, and you have force injectors level 2, and you have melee combo controller level 2. A lot of level 2s. You have some shock absorbers. You got leg buffers because you have some big legs, and then you have we have flight control. That's cool. Flight control level 2. You have a shoulder buffer for your right arm, and then you have a I missed blast stabilizer. You have blast stabilizer, and then you have some add-on buffers for your back there because they kind of stick out, and then you have assault booster level 3. Of course, you have the heavy attack and damage control, and last but not least, you have the biosensor M, which is a pretty good biosensor. And if you're using the base health, if you haven't added any health to your suit, it happens at your 30% of your health. That would be, I think, 6,000 health, maybe a little bit lower. And what happens is you have increased attack, and you take 40% less range damage, I believe, or damage overall. And you'll know if you have it because you have like the green waves coming off you, and it'll make the noises. And when you die, you will explode and harm people near you. And I've heard it can be about 7,000 damage, and that is pretty crazy. So that means you can unga bunga into somebody with your heavy attack, and then die because you unga bunga'd into a group of people, and then when you can explode onto somebody and potentially kill the person you're unga bunging. That's pretty crazy. Thankfully, the explosion radius is small. If this thing was huge, I'd probably lose my goddamn mind. It seems to be exactly on your suit. It's not like Actually, it might be the same radius as the explosion. So it's really going to depend on like the size of your suit. And oh man, this poor I'm just going to stun lock him forever. So yeah, probably depend on how big your suit is, if it's going to get caught in an explosion or not. Just be aware of the Zaku 3 custom. If you're going to melee it, make sure you're a safe distance away from it, and don't be like that guy in the first match that happened, where he downswung me and killed me, but also downswung his teammate, and he fell right on top of me, and I blew up and fucking murdered him. So, don't be that guy. It can be, it's a really good Saikamu system. It's like I keep saying Saikamu system, the biosensor. It's a really good biosensor for this suit, especially since it doesn't have dodge rolls, which I guess I'll go into the positives and negatives. I guess I'll start with negatives now, is that it doesn't have a dodge roll. Honestly, I think the suit is fine without it. This suit's already pretty powerful with its melee, and especially in space. On the ground, it's really powerful with that heavy attack. You have a teammate that gets a stun off, and then you can walk in and get free 10k damage, depending on the suit. And then I've seen that you can one hit a lot of supports, which is just absolutely fucking disgusting. And I don't know why they made it that way, but maybe I'll talk about that when I wrap up my thoughts here. But that is just gross. I'm talking about like it's a positive. I was doing negatives, but yeah, negatives, no dodge roll. And then obviously, as you can see, potentially saw during these two matches, that this suit is massive. It's pretty fucking big. As you can see, I'm next to Zero in the Stamen there. I'm towering over him. And hey, mission complete. We'll see what we got going on right now. And I believe, yeah, we're going to do really well. Yeah, top individual and top damage. You will get top damage with this suit if you know what you're doing. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just waiting for people to get stuns, being an asshole. And hey, first place, 6-2. Definitely good. And I'm not even a raid main player, so you can see how good the suit can be. At least if you're goofing around like that. But yeah, back to negatives. You are a big suit. So you'll get hit a lot. Oh, that reminds me, the biosensor, you have reduced stagger as well. That's also a thing that it has that makes it really good. But yeah, you're big. You'll get shot a lot. And then I guess if you want to add this as a negative, if people have part breakers on at 600, you have big legs, so I imagine you're gonna get those torn up pretty badly depending on a suit that you're fighting. Like, I guess if I can throw out one, a Z2, even though there's not too many at 650. Another downside, I guess, is that the torso beam launcher takes a while to ready up, so it's not a weapon you want to combo into. You want to start off with that. You don't want to do beam rifle then your torso launcher. And then the hide bombs, they're nothing too special. You can retreat while using them, so I guess that's a thing. They're definitely more tactically inclined than the other hide bombs. I think that does it for negatives. Positives is that you have just incredible damage, almost just overbearing damage. Usually heavy attack suits are just already pretty powerful enough, and then you throw in this suit that can do absurd amounts of damage to even generals. Honestly, if you're a support, I would probably stop picking support for a while while this suit's around. Again, I've seen people just get one shot, and I have taken out supports that were at near full health with the heavy attack. And if they're not getting a heavy attack, and you think you're safe that you can predict a heavy attack, well, sad to say that this thing has a stun rifle, so it's going to shoot you. And not only will it shoot you, it's going to do a downswing twice in a row and still nearly kill you because, again, I've gotten downswings on supports that have done over 5,000, close to 6,000 damage, and that wasn't the build I have that has the top damage you can have from like 5 to 1 melee parts on it, which if you do that, I believe the top you can get is 82, and the one I did was like 70 something. So definitely this thing just has ridiculous damage on it. Absurd amount of damage as you probably saw these two matches. But again, has no dodge roll, so you have to be careful, and you don't want to be too predictable with the heavy attack. Back to positives, has that stun rifle, so you can definitely stun people going for a melee combo with its strong melee, and maybe throw in some high bombs to scoot away. Maybe it can be like a harasser unit, get your stun off, go for a melee, retreat back with your bombs, keep coming back, kind of like the dude that pilots it. He's a double Zeta villain. They're like Team Rocket until they die at the very end. Well, spoiler alert. You probably already guessed that because it's suicide bombs. Which, that's a positive for this suit as well, is that it has that biosensor, which you take 40% less damage. You have reduced stagger when you get hit, and you do about 7,000 damage when you blow up in near somebody. Yeah, pretty ridiculous. This suit can definitely be really powerful under certain people. I know a lot of people that play the DJ SER, yeah, that one, the DJ SER. They're gonna really enjoy this suit because they can already make that suit look really good, but this suit, wow, the damage output is insane. However, even with all that said, I still think this is not the best raid. The heavy attack really puts it up there, along with the way it can just dish out the damage that it does. But to me, the number one raid is still the JCA, the Char Aznable one, because that one's just more safer. Even though it doesn't have the heavy attack or the explosion that you can do while you die, the explosion damage. There we go. It's just a lot more safer. You got the heavy stagger on demand, pretty much, that you can combo into a Cubile downswing with your or damage range with your Sturmfaust. And of course, you have a bunch of melee combos. You can you have melee, really good melee, and you have range combos. What I meant to say is range combos, and then you go into your melee and tear supports up, and you can still be tanky, and you get like I believe a dodge roll or a double dodge roll. I haven't played it in a hot minute, but whenever you get your biosensor activated, and it's still tanky because you get like buffers. You have like the buffers that were on the Cubile on this suit, the Char Aznable CA. So I still think that one's the best raid in terms of just keeping yourself alive and doing a lot of damage. But this suit, definitely insane. Honestly though, I'm kind of worried how they're going to keep doing this. Right now, supports are kind of in an iffy place. You're either going to get comboed to death by generals, or you're going to get one shot by raids. So I'm really hoping at 700 we'll start seeing some wildly different, maybe not wildly different, but at least some different suits being rolled out for supports. Supports are they had a good string going for 600, 650, so I'm happy with that. But then this suit comes out, and it's funny because the Game Walk pretty much does the same thing in Double Zeta, where Karasun, I don't know how to pronounce the name, I'm sorry, just commits Sudoku and blows up. And in this game, it translates to her tackling somebody and getting a heavy stagger off, and barely being able to follow up on it. And in Marshmallow, Marshmallow in the Double Zeta blows up. In this game, he actually does 7,000 damage when he does. That's kind of weird. But yeah, Zaku 3 Custom, pretty good suit. Really fun suit. Even if the meta ever changes and the Zaku 3 is considered on a lower end, it's still really fun to use. Even though that it's kind of gross getting that heavy attack off. Again, it's still really fun. And if I ever post the videos here as AQMs, you can see I'm just having a blast with it. Even when it shouldn't be doing that much damage to generals. But yeah, it's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And, type up in the comment section what you feel about the Zaku 3 Custom. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I really enjoy it so far, playing it. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep continuing playing it for a raid to pick at 650, because, again, I don't really pick raids that often. But you know what? I can have really fun Unga Bunga time. Be caveman with a beam saber in this game. Even though it's hilarious that I'm giving you all the good stuff that I can do, but in the two videos I'm mostly just heavy attacking people and getting rewarded for it. So I guess I'll repeat the positives and negatives real fast. Positives is you have that heavy attack, you have a good weapon setup, not the best, but you have a good weapon setup, and you have a really good biosensor, and then you can blow up and damage people after you die, and you have skills that you would want in a, I guess, a raid. You have maneuver armor, you have a melee combo controller with some really good melee. This thing's a melee monster, so keep that in mind. And then for bad sides, negatives, whatever you may call it, you're a big suit, and you may or may not have a leg problem, depending. Your initial resistances, if you don't buff anything, they're going to be pretty low. And your raid, I guess that can count as a negative, is your raid. So just be aware of the generals you're fighting and where they're at. You don't want to get caught lacking and then get teamed up on by 3 generals that are really good at just dishing out damage. You don't want to meet a O and a Toad Strider in an alleyway. Unless you have your heavy attack, of course. But yeah, that's going to be it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.